Welcome back to the Sports News Analysis YouTube channel. My name is Mike. I'm continuing my 2013 NFL draft coverage with my final mock draft, picks 11 through 20. Guys, I've already uploaded picks 1 through 10, so be sure to check those out. And be sure to check out my other mock drafts as well as I sort of put the finishing touches on picks 11 through 20 here as we head towards the draft on Thursday night. So let's get right to it. Pick number 11 belongs to the San Diego Chargers. The Chargers have a couple needs, most notably on the offensive line and at the outside linebacker spot. I think they addressed the offensive line here in round one. If you watch my previous mock draft, I have three offensive tackles going in the first 10 picks. Obviously, Luke Joeckel, number 1, Eric Fisher, number 4, and Lane Johnson, number 7. So I think that the Chargers' biggest need is tackle. But I think in this round, they get Jonathan Cooper, the guard from North Carolina. Again, he's one of these guys I think is a top 10 prospect in this draft. The only reason he falls to 11 is because of the position he plays is not as valued as tackle, but I think he's an extremely good get for the Chargers here at 11 and a guy they can slot in to be a starter for years to come. And they can address the tackle spot in the second round because there's some value there in this draft. Pick number 12 belongs to the Miami Dolphins. The Dolphins, after their free agent spending spree, they filled a lot of their holes, whether it be at linebacker, whether it be obviously at wide receiver. Okay, they continue to fill all these holes on their roster, and I look for them to possibly get a trade done for Brandon Albert. So, being that's the case, I think that takes them out of the DJ Fluker sweepstakes, if you will. I think they go to the tight end, which is a huge position of need for them still. And I think the tight end they take is Tyler Eifert from Notre Dame. If you watch Tyler Eifert at Notre Dame the last couple years, he really burst on the scene. You'll very rarely see a guy that catches the ball at its highest point better than a guy like Eifert. He uses that big frame to sort of box guys out to get the ball. I think that big frame will help Ryan Tannehill as he sort of progresses and gets better with his accuracy. And again, I think he's a nice complement to Mike Wallace, that he will take bodies off of him in the middle of the field, and definitely be a huge pickup for the Dolphins. One I think is a good fit here. So Tyler Eifert, number 12 to the Miami Dolphins. Pick number 13 in this draft will now belong to the New York Jets after their trade with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I think ideally they would have liked to get Cooper or Warmack here at pick 13. I think both those guys will be gone, though. And I think because of that, from everything you're hearing, is that the Jets are very high on Tavon Austin, the wide receiver from West Virginia. While I don't necessarily think he's the best pick here for the Jets, I think he is going to be the pick. And he'll give them, obviously, an explosive player to team along with Santonio Holmes and Jeremy Curley. And I know he's more explosive than Curley, but I look at him as being very similar to Curley. And that's why I'm not really understanding the Jets' big interest in him, unless they're trying to, sort of make it sound like they're interested in him so someone will trade up to get him. But I've heard it in multiple locations that the Jets are hot for Tavon Austin. So Tavon Austin to the Jets at pick number 13. Pick 14 belongs to the Carolina Panthers. The Panthers have a plethora of needs. I think their biggest need is on the defensive lines. And I think a guy that will still be here at this time is Lotulelei. I think he is the the third defensive tackle picked between Sharif Floyd, Sheldon Richardson, and himself. I think he's the guy who falls a little bit, and he falls perfectly to the Panthers. Out of all the defensive tackles in this draft, he certainly has the potential to be the best. Just for me, the red flags of him quitting football not too long ago, some of the consistency with his effort play to play, that would concern me if I was an NFL team, but make no mistake about it, his ceiling is extremely high. He's one of these guys who will be able to rush the passer from the defensive tackle spot, sort of like an Ndamukong Suh. He's not the total package Suh was coming out of college, but he has the potential to be just as good, certainly. And I think he's a good value for the Panthers at pick 14. So Lotulelei, pick number 14 to the Panthers. Pick 15 belongs to the New Orleans Saints. The Saints moved to the 3-4 scheme. Right now in this draft, there's 1-3-4 outside linebacker that sticks out to me as a perfect fit in New Orleans to play under Rob Ryan and sort of fill that DeMarcus Ware role, if you will, eventually in that defense. And I think that guy is Jarvis Jones from the University of Georgia. Had it not been for his low 40 time, high 40 time, I should say. Had it not been for some of the injury, concerns, he was thought to be a top 5 prospect heading into this draft. He's from a college production standpoint, it doesn't get any better than Jones, who had 14 sacks his junior and senior year there in Athens and was really consistent. Can play all 3 downs, does not need to be taken off the field in passing situations. And I think he has, I think he will be able to play every down, while a guy like Mingo probably won't be able to. But, Mingo had a better combine. He ran a better 40, and that matters in the NFL. But I think the New Orleans gets a gem at pick 15 with Jarvis Jones, because more than other people, I tend to if there's, if all is equal, well, what does the tape tell us? And I think Jarvis Jones' game tape is just going to wow people. Pick number 16 in this draft belongs to the St. Louis Rams. The Rams, I think they're going to really solidify their offense with their 2 first-round picks. They have pick 16 and pick 22. I think with this pick, again, I think they would have liked to get their hands on Cooper or Warmack, but they're not going to be there at this point in my mind. So I think they go wide receiver, and they go DeAndre Hopkins from Clemson. Hopkins is taking his second visit to the Rams this week, which I think is a key factor in all this. Is he as explosive as Cordarelle Patterson or Tavon Austin? No, I don't think so. But I think he's a better route runner, disciplined route runner, and has better hands and an overall better blocker, overall better player, and a better fit for the St. Louis system than Patterson or Austin would be. So I like DeAndre Hopkins, and obviously the Rams do too, as a fit in that offense at pick number 16 for the Rams. Pick 17 belongs to the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Steelers, they matched the offer sheet for Emmanuel Sanders, so he's back in the fold. But they are obviously they have to fill the big shoes left by Mike Wallace. And, I think the Steelers, I really thought the Steelers would either go running back, which I don't hear many people talking about, or receiver. Judging by the Steelers' past draft history, I don't think they have such good success finding late round gems at the running back position. I don't look for them to do that in this draft in the first round, take a running back, that is. I think they go the receiver route, and they end up with Cordarelle Patterson from Tennessee. Some rumors that maybe Justin Hunter would go before Patterson, but I just think all the measurables, the sheer athleticism, the lightning speed, the size, I think Patterson goes ahead of Hunter, and I think he vaults, to the Steelers here at pick 17, and hopefully for the Steelers' sake can take on the role of that Mike Wallace ex-receiver in this offense and really make a big difference. And we'll see how it pans out. But I like Patterson to go pick 17 to the Steelers. Pick number 18 belongs to the Dallas Cowboys. Cowboys are a team, again, I think, because of a lot of teams needing offensive line in this draft, I think they kind of end up being the odd man out from the top 5 offensive linemen in this draft, the 3 tackles, Johnson, Fisher, Jokel, and the 2 guards, Cooper and Warmack. But I think they end up with a very nice consolation prize, and take DJ Fluker from Alabama. Fluker's SEC tested. He's going to come in right away and be a difference maker at the right tackle position in the running game. His pass protection can get better, but it's not awful. Remember, he was playing against those SEC edge pass rushers his whole career. So he's certainly, the competition level, I don't think will be an issue for him once he gets his feet wet. But he comes in sort of the opposite of a lot of these tackles we've seen. He'll come in very adept at the run blocking, have to improve on the pass blocking. But I think I think that the Cowboys need to solidify that offensive line with the commitment they made to Romo. They draft Fluker. They move free inside to guard. And you obviously have Smith on the other side. And I think they move forward like that. So Fluker, pick 18 to the Cowboys. Pick 19 belongs to the Giants. The Giants, they have several needs. I think the biggest one, though, is to get another pass rusher to go opposite Jason Pierre-Paul. Obviously, with Osi Umenyiora moving on, Justin Tuck maybe not being what he was, 3, 4, 5 years ago. I think there's some 4-3 rush defensive ends here. Both the guys from Florida State, Carradine and Bjorn Werner, will be there at this time in my mind. I think the Giants jump on Tank Carradine from Florida State. He had a very good pro day, a workout. Yeah, he ran very well, which was really the only thing that teams were waiting to see from him. He was a wonderful college player. Got hurt last season, but I still think he goes in the first round. I think the Giants will like him because, yes, he's a pass rusher, but he has the ability to play the run probably a little bit better than you would think for a guy that was so prolific in college. He didn't just pin his ears back and sack the quarterback. He played against the run well. He adjusts well to the running game and has a good motor. And I think he'll fit well in that Giants locker room as a good pro at pick number 19. Pick 20 belongs to the Bears. And I think it's pretty obvious the Bears have needs at offensive line and linebacker. With all the offensive linemen they would want to take in the first round gone at this point, I think that eliminates them taking one in the first round. And probably address, as I said, the offensive tackle spot, you can get value a little bit later in the draft. So I look for them to put that need a little bit to the side and address the linebacking core. I don't think Ogletree, from a organizational standpoint, is a fit there. I think they're going to err on, well, hey, we don't want this guy causing problems. We don't want him coming in and potentially being a distraction. So I don't think the Bears and the type of organization they are go with Ogletree. I think they go with Arthur Brown from Kansas State. Arthur Brown, in my mind, is the most athletic linebacker in this draft, while Ogletree is the most athletic middle linebacker. I think as a whole, Brown is the most athletic linebacker. He fits them from a scheme standpoint, and I think he's a very good player that could have a very long career in Chicago and replace Nick Roach in that defense. And as Lance Briggs gets older, be sort of that main outside linebacker in that Bears system from a 4-3 standpoint. But that's picks 11 through 20 in my mock draft. Let me know what you guys think. Hit me up in the YouTube comments. Hit me up on Twitter at SNewsAnalysis. Guys, be sure to subscribe to my channel. I've uploaded over 400 videos here on YouTube, mostly about the NFL, but about some other sports as well. So be sure to check those out. Be sure to subscribe. I'll be uploading picks 21 through 32 of my mock draft here pretty soon. But thanks as always for listening, guys, and have a great day.